Good afternoon, everyone. It is 12 o'clock in Texas. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, let me try that again. Nope. See, I can't even. Okay, I apologize. It's my first day on YouTube. So, Steve says muted Frank. I swear I unmuted it. It must have been. Okay, so OBS went through an update the other day, and I'm not used to the controls yet. It's not OBS's fault. It's my fault. So I missed something, obviously. Yeah, what is this? Nobody call me. Okay. Start over again. Ham Radio 2.0 lunchtime live stream. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you guys saw my live stream from last week. I had Eric 4Z1 Uniform Golf on the channel to talk about the Virtual Ham Expo that's starting Friday evening in the USA. I think it's 0100 UTC time, I think is what it is. And that's happening this weekend, but I am not going to be there this weekend because I'm actually traveling to North Carolina for the Tapper Digital Communications Conference, which is right here. So I'll be attending that and recording those sessions and going from there. And so if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, it's just at the airport hotel. And if you're in the area, drop by and see us. Let me know. Let me know if you're around there. That should be a fun show. I've done that in the past. This is the first live show they've done since COVID. So I did 2 or 3 of them prior to COVID, and then I did the virtual ones during COVID. So the September giveaway for the Yaesu FT710 is live now, or the signups are live now, I should say. So I will share that link in the description right now, or in the chat right now. So go sign up for that. Somebody is going to win a Yaesu, brand new Yaesu HF radio. And I also got some of those Evo Evolution 12-volt charging $60 laptops that I'll be giving away. So give away a few things this month at the end of the month. Lawnmower says DMR is killing public transportation. That's good. I like that. All right, so we're just going to bring Bob on because I don't know what other controls they've changed on me here. People call me while I'm live streaming. I don't get that. I don't understand why that happens. So, all right, let's transition. Unmute. What's up, buddy? How are you?
Hola, mis amigos.
Hola, ¿cómo está de Texas?
Todo bien.
So, you're in Cozumel, but that's not the beach scene behind you. Is what? So Hawaii or something?
I'm not sure where that is, but there's a spot on the other side of the island that looks exactly like that.
Does it really? Wow.
It's like just about mirror image. It's like perfect.
Huh. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool, man. So it is good to have you back. Good to see you. And
you too. Hi,
yeah. Everybody's Terry says, are you doing any type of meetup other than Tapper while in North Carolina? Not really. I mean, I probably won't have much with me, but and I won't have a car because I'm flying into the airport and the whole event is at the Hilton Hotel at the airport. So I'm really probably not going to even go anywhere. But if someone were to come by and pick me up and take me to a POTA park, I might not complain. We'll see. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of POTA.
Speaking of POTA, Bob, I wanted to ask you about that. So tell me what you've learned, I guess. Because getting operating privileges in Mexico is tricky. It's not impossible, but used to be you had to physically travel in person to Mexico City and fill out paperwork in person to get operating privileges. Has that changed?
We're working on that, and also working with the ARRL of Mexico, FMRA. Working with President David, who is working with the IFT, their FCC, to make a streamlined process for reciprocal privileges. So hopefully we'll have that fixed shortly. Right now, I actually met the other day. I had coffee with X-Ray Foxtrot 3 Papa Alpha Sierra. So we're looking forward to operating out in on some of the beaches pretty soon. And I'm actually working on with the guys at POTA to add some of the entities that are around the island, because right now there's only one entity, which is Punta Sur Park, which isn't even called Punta Sur on their system, but that's commonly what it's known as. So we're working on adding some of the
state parks, or
along like the national seashore, some of the points national seashore.
Yeah,
there's some archaeological sites here that we're trying to get added. San Gervasio, and there's another one, I forget the name of it. It's all the way on the North Point, and you got to like literally drive in quads to get to it.
Oh wow! Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Which is an old archaeological site on the very North Point. So working on that. And by the way, if there's a cat in the background, there's a cat in the background.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So adding some of the other Quintana Roo state parks and stuff like that. So right now there's only one entity, but we should have about 10 entities on the island soon, hopefully. God willing.
The island of Cozumel.
Yeah, the island of Cozumel. So it's pretty cool. It's X-Ray Foxtrot 3. There's only 2 hams on the island, myself and Alberto. Foxtrot 3 Pop Alpha Sierra. And my girlfriend, the lovely Isabel, is working on her ticket.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's a real rocket scientist. She's going to learn through this pretty quick. And they use the same tests down here as they do in the States. So I put her on ham test online, and Chrome automatically translates it for her, and we're getting her ready to take the exam. So she should.
You think you might get an extra X-Ray Foxtrot 3 call sign?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm looking.
Do you have to live there to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking for X-Ray Foxtrot 3 Romeo Fox is what I'm shooting for.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So that should be cool, and it's really nice living down here. It's extremely inexpensive to live down here, and it's quite lovely, really quite
good.
Lovely.
Well, I'm gonna come see you. I was honestly, well, your schedule and my schedule both are in a constant state of flux, right?
Yeah.
So it's not all you. I don't mean to make it sound, because I've been doing a lot of traveling myself in the last few months, but honestly, I want to operate when I come down there. I'm like, you know what? Get your operating stuff in place, and then I'll put it on my calendar.
I already spoke to Alberto. He's already on board. We're gonna do a nice activation down here, and it should be an instant pileup, because X-Ray Fox.
Oh yes,
so rare. It's extremely rare. So.
Well, I mean, you could probably just sit on the beach and call X-Ray Foxtrot 3 and do pileups, but if you go to an actual POTA entity, you're going to have mega pileups there. So
believe me, I know.
Yeah.
I already warned him. I was like, just be ready.
Yeah.
We're going to need somebody logging and somebody operating. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Well, that's what. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do a vlog saying, okay, we're going to get on the plane, we're going to fly to Cozumel, and just have to do like a 3 or 4 day vlog, and the POTA stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. That'll be awesome.
The stuff on the far side, like there's no internet over on the far side, so
that's all right.
We'll have to record, and
Oh yeah. I'm not live stream. I wouldn't live stream it. No, we'll record it and I'll post it later. That's not a problem. You've got internet where you are, so we can go back to your place and I'll just edit and post it from there.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
I actually have 3 lines here.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So it's
that'd be fun.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. Like
all right.
I think you'll really enjoy it.
Oh, I bet.
If you think you like the pileups from Tango India, wait till you see the pileup from X-Ray Fox 3. It's really going to be quite.
You know, I'm not sure if I hear X-ray echoes fairly regularly from Texas.
Yeah, but X-ray Fox 3.
Right. That's what I was about to say. I don't think I've heard an X-ray Foxtrot that I recall. I'm sure I have, but
there's only 2 of us, and I'm still I'm gonna go to New York probably soon, and when I come back, I'll schlep some stuff back with me.
Okay.
I don't actually have any HF gear on site yet, but
okay.
So, but I do have my operating position ready to go. That's where I'm sitting right now, and we get an antenna up and plop a radio on the desk, and we'll be ready to rock. So, and I'll bring a screwdriver with me. I'm going to slam a screwdriver on my 2007 Chevy Tracker.
Oh gosh. Did you ever take your Bronco down there?
No, I'm not doing it.
Oh, you're not going to do that?
No, it's going to be honestly, it's too sketchy to get it down here. They're going to hit me home with taxes. And,
yeah. Okay.
I'll just have it in New York when I go back to New York, and we'll enjoy it there.
Okay.
But I've got it. Like I said, I've got and fuel is really expensive here. It's like $5.50 a gallon. So, I heard gas went down in Texas.
Yeah, it's been coming down for the last, basically since probably since early August-ish, about a month, I guess.
How's diesel doing? Is diesel down?
I don't pay much attention to diesel, but I think it's somewhere around 4.25 or so.
Yeah, diesel is still really high in New York.
Yeah.
Diesel here is at exactly just about the same price as gas.
Okay.
But the cars here are pretty small. The parking is pretty small. So trying to park that, even though the Bronco is not gigantic, it's pretty tall.
Yeah. That's true.
Trying to park that is just, and it doesn't have a turning radius that, it has a pretty good turning rate as F-150s go. It's got a pretty good turning rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Well, we'll see what we see when we're done.
My other vehicle is a 150cc Italica, which you'll see when you're down here next week. It's a Mexican-made scooter.
Okay.
Some Chinese components. The engines come from China, but the frames come from here. So, but I've got a 150 scooter, which is pretty nice to bop around on.
Cool. Good deal.
Yeah.
All right. So more to come on that later. But what's going on with the RFinder?
Well, we've had a lot of exciting stuff. Joe and the boys have been making some pretty great strides. We just released. Do you have the update with TGIF yet?
I think I got a notice that it said that if I wanted to do the beta, then I could choose to do the beta, which TGIF was supported on. But
what version do you have on your gray bar at the top?
Let's see. I'll tell you right now. No, that's not 1.2.
Yeah,
it says Dev 1.2.
You should be up to 1.4. So I'll help you get that updated. But the 1.4 actually has and you can switch back and forth between what we call the stable and the experimental version. But you can flip to the experimental version and get the TGIF. And you just really have to put in your TGIF hotspot password and take a connection.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, update now to RF1_1.4.
Yep, that's it. So.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna update now.
Yep.
Downloading the update.
That's the other thing. Is like all the updates happen inside the app now. So even like if there's a ROM update, it'll let us know. Stuff like that. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've noticed that because I don't boot this thing and use it every day, but I generally will take it on road trips. And when I took it to Colorado 2 or 3 weeks ago, I went up there with Gigaparts for an overland show.
Oh, how was it?
It was fun. It was fun. So I look forward to. There's another one in Virginia in October next month that I was going to try to go to, but I am not going to be able to make it. So but next year we'll probably go to a couple of those. So just like you were saying about supply chain, I mean they're having trouble getting stuff right now too. So
yeah, well, it's a common theme throughout anybody that provides anything electronic.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But we've managed it pretty good. Sometimes we have like some lulls where we're waiting for parts or whatever. Like we're waiting for P7 parts, which are just about. This told me an hour ago. What is it? We're 2 weeks out on producing P7s. We're Friday. P10s are coming out. We're still about another 3 to 4 weeks out on the B1 Plus boards. So, but whatever, we're managing as fast as we can, and it's just thankfully there's still a little bit of stock left on B1 Pluses. So if you guys want one, you can get them. We also have B1 Classics, which the only difference is they don't charge off the USB port. But other than that,
Yeah, I noticed that. Well, I had a question come in when, and you already answered it, but not on stream. So Forgotten Cameras. Now this is a guy, Forgotten Cameras is his name, and he's talking about old versions of Android. So I find that ironic, but I laugh at stuff like that. My biggest question about the security of the older Android versions on the B1 Plus, very interested in getting one, but that's holding me back. So
well, it shouldn't hold you back, honestly. We do a few times a year, we do security patch updates. And we have users that are still on Android 6 on the original M1s and the K1s. They work perfectly. In fact, I was in Germany and I met one user that had an original H1.
Really?
He had an original H1, and that was 6.5 years ago, roughly.
Yeah.
So just about a little over 6. That unit's on 5.1. And he was using it daily, and it was still working perfectly. So it's not really relevant. A lot of people don't use it as their daily; they use it as a secondary device or just as their radio. So it's not even. It's a non-issue. It's not even relevant, really. It just it's a radio.
Well, it's a lot more than a radio, like what I tell people. So, but yeah, good. Okay.
My mom says I finally did something right, guys. So, so just remember, it's mom approved. So
that's right. It's mom approved.
Mom approved.
That's good. That's funny.
Yep. So we have some B1 Classics. They're only available at the RFinder.net website. Not
okay.
So. If you guys want to save a little bit of money, they're under 1,000. We are well under 1,000. So you can grab classic B1s, which work perfectly. You have a classic B1 in your hand.
Yeah. This is a classic. In fact, this is one of the first ones. This is the one that Nick had.
Oh, really?
And,
yeah. Oh, that was one of the prototypes.
Yeah. I mean, the hardware is all the same, I think, but yeah, it had the original prototype dual band app on it. So.
Yep.
Or dual band ROM or whatever it was on it. Yep. So yeah.
Yep. So that was actually the module the RF module that I designed. So
it still runs great. I mean, every time I boot it up, it comes right up. It does all the updates. I mean, what year was that? In fact, you know what? I got invited back to the Chattanooga Hamfest when I was in Huntsville, I think. And that's that Hamfest I went there for you.
Yeah, you covered me.
And I want to think that was the 2019. It was the year before COVID.
Yeah, because I couldn't be in two places at once.
But. Right. Yeah, I think it was the same weekend as Pacificon or one of those out there. I don't remember which one it was. But yeah, so I've had that since then. So it's been pretty solid. Every time I boot it up, it works great.
It works.
I like taking. I like traveling with it because you could just find repeaters with it easily.
Yeah, you never have to program it; it just works.
Right.
Yeah. And you can't find a DMR repeater. You just hit the DMR override, the DMROIP button, and you're instantly on, on Brandmeister or TGIF Network without modifying a code plug to do it or anything. It just works. So.
Yeah. What's new from the B1 to the B1 Plus?
USB charging.
Right.
It's Android 9 instead of 8, and it's got a 2.3 gigahertz processor instead of 2, but you really don't feel the difference. It's not
okay.
Like you don't actually like actual end user performance. It doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
So, but those are the only differences. But like I said, we do have B1 Classics in stock, ready to go from RFinder.net without any delay. They work fantastic. I have actually here, we have for special order also, this one is a 14.
Oh, that's the one that works with what's it, COM14 or whatever?
Yeah, with FirstNet. It's got
it's
got LTE band 14 on it. So and 13, by the way, for those that have been asking for band 13 on Verizon and stuff. So it's got band 14, and that's really the only difference.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
We work
let's see.
I'm actually using a FirstNet SIM down here in Cozumel on this radio, and
that's cool.
Yeah, it's working great. It actually works better here, band 14 units, oddly enough. Not that it's on band 14, it's using band 5, but they don't have band 14 in Mexico, but we're using band 14 AT&T, and the performance is very, very good from down here. So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, that's good to know.
I use it as my tertiary internet on-ramp, just in case the entire island loses internet, but cellular internet is working. I just flip that on and attach with my laptop, and my B14 becomes my on-ramp for my day-to-day.
Good.
In the unlikely, every once in a while.
Good. Oh, there's John from Jesus in the chat. So let me get Terry's question real quick. Can this replace my cell and add radio? I've not looked at the RFinder very much. So I'll tell you this. I carried the M1. I don't remember if I carried the H1 or not. I had an H1. But I carried the M1 for a year and a half. And I got the K1 and tested it and got rid of it. I didn't like the small form factor. That was just my personal preference.
It wasn't my favorite either.
But I carried the M1 for a year and a half as my only cell phone, and it worked great. So the great thing about the B1 is it's just more, it's dual band. The original M1 was mono band, so this one's dual band. It's got a lot more features in it. And Bob, I'm going to ask you later, I don't want to get into this at the moment, but about your APRS progress, about getting actual APRS built into it.
Well, we have APRS now through we have something like APRS in the RFinder system.
You
can see where everybody else is that that have opted in to sharing their positioning. But you can also turn on a switch that says, post me onto APRS also, so it does a pass through without actually taking up time on the transmit.
But it does that over the internet, right? It doesn't actually transmit an RF signal.
That is correct. Now we are working on the ability, and we think we're pretty close. We're in test development mode on feeding audio from Android into the RF module and receiving audio from the RF module into Android. And we have a device with the guy that wrote APRS Droid. So he's got a device. He's just waiting for us to finish the API. That same API is going to enable some other things like slow scan television, stuff like that, obviously. And we're also working on something with Heavens Above to be able to track satellite this thing, change frequency, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully, if I can get this thing working, then we'll move on to the portable as-L rotator that operates off of Bluetooth. So it'll actually like swing an arrow antenna for you automatically as you're.
I'm looking forward to trying that.
Yep, me too.
Yeah. John from Yazy wants to know, have the issues with AT&T not allowing it on their system been updated? I know that was a thing way back when, but I think that's long past being.
That's long been straightened out. The truth is, they are trying to strong arm people into leasing devices from them.
Yeah.
So they basically said, anything that is not on our approved list, and there's an extortion fee from us to be able to get on their official approved list.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of doing it, and then they pulled the rug out from Bring Your Own Device, BYOD. And we were just about to send them a check, and they were like, no more BYOD. I was like, well, why are we paying money with you guys to get on your approved list if you're not going to allow it anymore? So we took another approach. We told people to call AT&T and tell them that if you do not enable this device, you're going to lose me as a customer right now. I'll just go over to T-Mobile and it'll just work without any question. And magically, somehow, I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden people are having no.
All of a sudden it worked.
All they have to do is call up second level support and tell them to override it and make it look like a Galaxy S8, and magically it works.
Yeah, so Firearm, that's a cool name. FYRE ARM. Firearm N0WHA says, I got an AT&T SIM put in at the store. They had to override it, and it showed as not compatible, but it worked fine when they did the override. So
that's correct.
There you go. So
another happy customer.
There you go.
And, unfortunately, they're causing the problem, not us. They'll tell you it's a 3G device, and they're lying. And they know better because we actually updated all the data, the GSM database, worldwide database, to show these IMEIs as 4G, and showing actually what actual bands that they operate on. And they like to pretend. I don't know. I like pretending occasionally. It's fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When will it support Bluetooth on the radio side? That's a good question that I'd like to know myself.
Well, the truth is, we had an external device that was ready to go, and unfortunately, something happened with that manufacturer. They kind of like fell off the planet. So we're looking at another one. It's going to connect to the Pogo port on the right side.
This guy.
And then you'll have a Bluetooth device that'll go through that. We've attempted to, and it was in the design spec to allow Bluetooth directly from Android, but unfortunately, after you go through all hardware development and start developing the software, then you find out things. So we ended up with like a 3 to 4 second latency.
Oh wow,
it was just
That's terrible.
Yeah, if it was 1 second maybe, but it's 3 to 4 seconds. It's just not even like usable. So, so we could use the internal Bluetooth to get to the radio, but we're working on a side attached device to provide Bluetooth. So, and I had one, I had it working, and then it's like, where are you guys? We're ready to order, and like,
oh, sheesh.
Yep.
Goodness. John wants to know if it works with Verizon. It works with everything, honestly.
Everything.
Inside of the USA and outside of the US. It has dual SIM slots.
So. Yep. In fact, you take a Verizon, you have to use a working SIM from Verizon from another device. So you take your working SIM and stick it in here, go to Verizon, get another SIM for your device, go home and swap them, and you're back to where you were and with a new device. And in foreign countries, I've tested this all over. I've tested it in the Congo. I've tested it in Israel. I've tested it in all over Europe. I was just in Germany. I grabbed a SIM and slammed it in 2 of them actually, and they just turned on and started working instantly. I'm down here in Mexico. I use a Telcel SIM. This is a dual SIM unit. So I've got a Telcel SIM and a AT&T FirstNet SIM, and I can swap back and forth, and they work just fine. So it's great.
Good.
Yeah, Mike, I agree. 3 to 4 seconds is nasty. It's unusual.
Yeah.
The Bluetooth one that we're looking at is quasi instantaneous. So we should have that going pretty soon. In fact, we've had users create them. Same kind of solution. They've like taken a headset and created a wired in a Bluetooth module for like motorcycles and stuff.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yep.
Okay. Good. So.
Yes, Salty Ham, you do need one. Get a hold of me right after.
That's right. Yeah. HL was asking about transcoding. So I know that you were talking about that at one point, but you know what? A lot of companies have tried that, and nobody's made it successful except for really, I guess.
Honestly, what's better is an end node. For instance, if you wanted to use D-Star, you would stick DroidStar on it. You can go straight to the D-Star network over IP.
Yeah.
Not over RF, obviously, over IP. But we are working on something very interesting. The thing I mentioned earlier about routing audio to and from the RF exciter and the receiver into and out of Android. We're working on something with M17. So we believe if we can get this working properly, that M7 we will have the first production M17 device. You'll literally like load the software and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So
will it connect over IP? Connect it
first we're doing IP and then we're doing over RF.
Okay, so you'll be able to use like okay.
But so, right now, understand that there really is no true RF solution. There's no
correct
way of getting a repeater on M17 up and running. So it's all theoretical and in the lab. In Poland, I guess they have it running right now in the lab in Poland.
They have some way to hack a TYT MD380. And it's quite the hack because I saw it. They had it at Orlando last February.
It's quite a hack, believe me.
Yeah. But I don't remember what type of. But it's not like it can use Pi-Star or the OpenSpot because those don't support M17 yet. So it has to have. You have to hack a radio and you have to hack a hotspot somehow to do it. So.
Yep, that's correct. Or do like point to point between two radios. It's very experimental right now, but
yes,
we support the M17 guys, and we're hoping that, like I said, we are truly hoping that we will have the first production M17 device, and then when the repeaters are rock, you'll be able to go point to point between devices, but
sure
they have, and we'll be able to go over IP. So as an end node, like we do right now with with DMR over IP. So we think we're going to be the first ones to market with that.
Those guys will be at Tapper this weekend.
By the way, that'll be on the current B1. So if you have a B1 Classic or a B1 Plus or a B14 Plus or one of the tablets, the P7, P10s, those will all be able to do this. So
for sure.
Yep.
Cool, man. Well, why don't you do the screen share thing and show us what the DMR over IP to TGIF looks like?
Sure. Let's see if I can do this.
People are saying Pi-Star supports M17. That's the first I've heard that. Must be new. Because it didn't when I tried it last time. But
does it do as a transcode?
I don't know.
Okay. So okay.
I'll get to talk to those guys will be at Tapper this weekend, so I'll get to talk to them quite a bit about the latest news on their project. I don't think I've talked to them. They were at Dayton, but I don't think I talked to them at Dayton. So I think I haven't talked to them since February.
Sorry, it's being a little latent.
Yeah, that's fine. It's Zoom, part of that Zoom.
It should be coming up any moment.
Oh, there it is. I see it.
Yeah, but you're still waiting for it to like.
It shows it's on RF because the button's red.
That's correct, but it's not showing on the YouTube side yet, but it will momentarily.
Oh well, yeah. If you're watching YouTube, it's a little bit delayed. So,
yeah. Well, that's what they're watching, so
Correct.
All right, cool.
Correct.
So they can't really see the bottom of the screen because of your
I moved that. So give it a second, it'll update for you.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so if you take a look at DMR options, DMROIP options, we now have 2 different locations for the hotspot passwords.
Mm-hmm.
We're still waiting for that to show up on the YouTube side. Oh wait, they don't care because I'm on the YouTube. Ugh. All right. Anyway.
No, so what you're saying and what you're showing is showing up in real time for them. It's just 3 or 4 seconds delay. Well, 20 to 25 seconds delayed. So don't worry, just do it like it's real time. It's fine. Because by the time you say that, they'll be seeing what you're talking about.
Right, okay, sorry guys, I was like a little disconnected.
It's all right.
And you see, we have the ability to put in the hotspot passwords for both Brandmeister and TGIF, and I have to stop looking at YouTube because I'm like losing my mind.
Right.
Yeah. And then you can put in what's known as what we call multi-RX, which is kind of like our answer to promiscuous mode on radio over IP. Because obviously we're not listening to a single frequency and trying to say, well, what's all our traffic on this particular frequency? So you can put in a set of talk groups that you listen to and you flip it into the promiscuous mode, known as multi-RX on the radio side, and that's it. And you choose your server, and then that's it.
I put that in. I put in my. I don't. TGIF, is that the same password and everything? Do they have unique passwords the way that Brandmeister used to be just PASSW0RD, and then they made you start choosing unique passwords a while back? So
no, they assign you a password.
They assign you a password. Okay. Robert's in the chat. Robert, hit me up. I have no freaking clue what my TGIF password is.
So just go on to TGIF.network and log in and click on click on your call sign and then self-care, and then go into the shield icon and it'll show it to you.
Okay.
That's very, very easy. And then to switch over to DMR over IP, you literally touch the DMR over IP button. Pops up a disclaimer, and then you can choose whether you're connecting to Brandmeister or TGIF. You click the TGIF, and if everything works right, then it says net roam on the screen, which is what it says right now. So we're actually connected right now on TGIF. Do you have a talk group on TGIF that we like, that's pretty busy?
You know, the only one that I have ever used or quite frankly care about is 31665. That's the main talk group, or at least it used to be.
So
that's the one.
Over to 31665.
Yeah, 31665.
And if there's any traffic, we'll see it. Although I don't know if you can see my signal bars from where I am right now. It's pretty crappy right now. So
yeah, I see that. Yeah, I do. I also noticed that the there's somebody talking.
Yeah,
that was you. That was you. Okay.
Was transmitting.
So, all right, Izzo, I got to put that up there. So the thing that's unique about DMR over IP is I noticed that the blue, and this has been true since day one, the power button at the bottom right of the screen is blue instead of red. When it's red, it's on RF, so you can key up a local repeater, hotspot, whatever. When it's blue, it's on DMR over IP. So, oh, you made it mad.
I made it mad. No, because
it
really should have disconnected. Yeah, it usually handles it pretty well, but we're still connected. I just changed.
Okay. So. Yeah, I noticed mine will say that sometimes. It says the app stops, but by the time I click close, it's already relaunched the app by itself. So, but again, I'm using a beta version. I'm not using the production version when I see that. So, Just a heads up on that. So
well, I'm on the dev version myself right now. So
yeah, I figured you were. So okay, so self-care. Oh, self-care. There we go. Okay, I got to figure out how to.
anyway, it's literally a one button click to switch between DMR over IP and RF. It's literally a one button, one button, two click to switch between IP and RF. So if you lose your repeater, it's immediately switch over to IP, and it's pretty.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Robert's saying TGIF password is only for secure talk groups, and 31665 is a secure talk group. So, yeah. So somebody else mentioned talk group 1033 on TGIF. I've not used that one myself, but Centeria B1 now. That's what I should use for my password. No, not quite.
Very
Terry
nice.
wants a B1.
Yeah, sure, Terry. Yeah. Terry, just hit me up later, and we'll get one out to you today.
Yeah, for a small fee. What about Android updates? We kind of talked about that already, but
yeah, that's done through the app. The app will tell you when there's an Android update. So it'll walk you through the process of downloading and updating it. It's a two-step process, but pretty easy to do. It takes two reboots and you're done.
Yeah,
much easier than it used to be.
Yeah. Updating pretty much everything on this device has gotten easier over the past couple of years.
Yep.
The ROM updates are easier. The Android itself updates are easier. The app updates are easier. So, but yeah, that's the good thing about it there. So I think it works well.
One of the many good things about it. I mean, it's the coolest radio ever made. You and I both know. So
it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. And like I said 10 years ago. Do what?
And Mom approved.
And Mom approved. Yeah, I said 10 years ago, I was like, man, somebody needs to make an Android-controlled HT. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't even think about, D-Star or whatever back then. I was just thinking about Android-controlled radio, and this kind of goes beyond that. So,
like this really first popped into my head back in 1980.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
No, because I was in Israel. I was actually at Tel Aviv University, and I had an IC2AT. And I don't know if you've ever seen one of those, but it's got like thumb wheels on the top for changing frequency and a switch to go between 5 kilohertz and 0 kilohertz.
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah. So I was sitting in the dormitory, and I was like, how do I find these repeaters? There's a book in the U.S., there's no book for the rest of the world. We need to have a worldwide repeater directory. So 15 years ago, I came up with the idea of a repeater directory, and then 6 years ago, I came up with the idea of wrapping an Android radio around the directory, and
there you go.
Yep.
Good.
Radio experimentation at its finest.
That's right. Yeah.
Remember, guys, you're not ham radio operators. You are radio experimenters. Okay, so don't stop experimenting. Have fun learning every day. There's always something cool to learn. So.
Yeah, Izzo, we mentioned that, and I know you've been watching, so you probably just missed it. Will a future update include the M17 operation mode, not a separate unit? If yes, portable and tablet. So yes, the answer to your question is yes.
You get any of the current units with the dual band B1, B1 plus, P2, P7, P10. Any of those will work with M17 once we get this thing working. But remember, it's theory,
right?
Theory in general. So, it's your purchase today helps support our development for tomorrow. So, so don't slow down if you're kind of waffling. Remember, first of all, when you get one, every person is on the design team. So if you come up with a great idea that we think we can make happen. Some of our greatest ideas have come from our end users. Certainly a lot of our workflow stuff have come from end users. Many have come from me, obviously, in my travel around the world and seeing how people use radio and DMR in general and stuff like that. So, but your purchase today helps support our development for tomorrow. So it's you're really jumping on board, being part of a great revolution in radio. It's a lot of fun. I mean, anybody that owns one will tell you how much fun they are to use.
I agree with that. It is a lot of fun to use.
Yep.
Cool.
And it just works anywhere on Earth. It doesn't matter where I am. If I land in Tel Aviv, it'll work. If I land in Dallas, it'll work. If I land in, I took the ferry over to Cancun, to Playa del Carmen, and they got machines over there. I was opening them up as I was driving to Cancun. So it just works. Works in coastal China, Hong Kong, Shenzhen.
I don't really understand. Are you talking about Chromebook? But the question is, can you add this to a Chrome OS that runs Android apps?
The app itself, for the directory, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the app itself, for the directory will work, but obviously it doesn't have a radio in it. So
right, yeah, the Chrome OS doesn't have a two-way radio in it, so yeah, that wouldn't work. But okay, good.
Yep. I don't know if the radio over IP. No, it won't. No, there's no codec because we're using the codec inside the RF module.
Gotcha.
That was one of the magical tricks that we did, was we reworked the RF module so that we would use the codec internal to the RF module, pass the ambi datagrams back and forth between Android and the RF module for playback and for transmit. So in other words, as the IP ambi2, and for those of you that don't know, that's the compressed audio of DMR as well as
Fusion
and
P25.
25. P25 actually uses IMBI, uses a slightly different one.
I think that's what. Okay, I get that one confused with D-Star. Is D-Star Ambi or is it IMBI?
D-Star is Ambi1.
Ambi1. Okay, yeah, I get the P25 and D-Star one confused because those are older codecs. So okay.
So, and if you want to run D-Star, you can throw Droid Star on this thing, and it'll work fine. And Echo Link, and whatever. It runs all the common Android amateur apps. So that's pretty cool. But we modified the RF module so that as the ambi datagrams, the ambi2 datagrams come in from the internet, we feed them into the RF module for playback. And this way we can use the same volume knob to adjust RF audio and IP audio. It's the same logic. So pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool indeed.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, cool. This was good info to keep up with. I still want to get you back on the stream and go through the setup of RTL SDR on the P10 one of these days, because there's a couple of steps to that, I think.
Yeah, there is. You just have to turn OTG on, because it's still a USB device. So like with any other Android, because normally an Android is a device, not a host. So you need to.
Right.
It's like if you take an Android device and plug it into a PC, it'll show you its storage.
Right.
But you need the device to be a host so that it controls another device like an RTL SDR. You have to put the USB mode into OTG, which will.
Well, I've done that. But there was a couple of things. I don't know if you remember. You looked at my P10 tablet when you were at Field Day last year, and there was some setting in there that I was missing or something. I don't remember what it was now. So.
Oh, you needed to upgrade your ROM, is what you needed to do.
Oh well, okay. I think I've done that, but I'll have to go back and try it again. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's the famous question. I'm glad someone asked that finally. Are you thinking about porting this to iOS? Hell no.
No way that app would ever allow us to do that. There's no way. And just so you know, we attempted. There was a company that was actually making cradles that you could slide an iPhone 6 in.
Right.
Yeah, and we were actually like getting pretty close to a negotiation with them, and then they collapsed because they were ready for the iPhone 6, and then Apple came out with the follow-ons, the 7, the 8, and now they would have to like redo mold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very expensive
Yeah.
process to even just do molding. So it's a challenge. The only way to do it is to cradle, an iPhone, and there's not enough volume to be able to support that. And if we try to go to Apple and say, "Hey, we want to take your guts and stick it into something else," they will tell us to go to hell.
Yeah, they like to control. Yeah, you'll notice that Apple's the only one who makes iPhones, but
That's correct.
you can get Android phones made by multiple manufacturers
Including
worldwide.
RFinder.
Yeah, including RFinder. That's right. So
Yep.
yeah. So it's really not, I'm not a big Apple fan, as anybody who's watched my channel for more than 5 minutes knows, but it's not really a decision RFinders make. It's something that Apple won't let them do.
Correct.
So what's the CPU in the Plus, in the B1 Plus?
The CPU in the Classic is a 2.0 octa-core, and in the Plus it's a 2.3 octa-core. So it's not really like a huge difference. You really don't feel it from an end user performance perspective. There's not like a big difference. The Plus has, depending on when you get it, sometimes it has 128 gigs of memory, sometimes it has 64. That's how we're managing the chip shortage problem.
Sometimes you get a little bit of each.
Sometimes we'll be like, all right, make these with 128s because that's all we can do. Or sometimes we make them with 64. But the truth is 64 is more than enough. Like you don't need to put in an SD card. In fact, we don't want you to put in an SD card in. So
I want to say this one I have is a 64 gig. I want to say it is, but I don't remember.
It is.
This is one of the first ones. So
correct. It's 64.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I've never filled it up.
Nah, you don't even come close.
No.
No, in fact, you could try to it has unlimited contacts, and it's virtually unlimited memories and zones. So it's it's not like you have any kind of shortage of memory on it. Good luck filling it.
No. But even like installing apps and whatnot, like I've installed a bunch of apps on it, and I've never run out of room either. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got plenty of space. You just don't run out of it's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
5G, it's not really relevant. Like for instance, if I drive out of San Jose, what town am I in?
Cozumel.
San Miguel.
San Miguel.
San Miguel, Cozumel. If I drive south out of San Miguel, we do switch over to 3G. And if I have it on radio over IP, it still works. In fact, it transitions perfectly. Like you don't even know that there's a transition. So even on 3G, radio over IP works fine. So 4G is not really relevant. I'm not saying that we're not going to make a device someday that's 5G. We most likely will at some point. We had a prototype, but it wasn't quite right. So it's going to be a little longer before that happens. But it'll happen eventually. Right now, 4G is more than enough. I mean, 4G is going to be around for 15 years, so who cares?
Yeah.
Do you
have P10s in stock?
We're going to have P10s in stock shipping from China on Friday. Friday or Monday. They'll be going out. So, next week time. So if you place your order now, you can get in on the pile. But you got to place your order like quickly because as soon as they're here, they're gone.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. So
cool,
man.
Yeah, we make them in batches of 10 or 15 at a time.
Okay.
So what the vendor? It's a MediaTek. The CPU. DV switch I think works. Can you remap the button for DV switch or not?
I haven't tried the remapping. I put DV switch on the phone, but I haven't tried remapping the button for it.
Well, it does 301. So if you use a button mapper app, you can redirect it to whatever they're looking for.
Okay.
If they're looking,
it's got two push to talks over here on the side.
Yeah, if they're looking for a keystroke, of some sort. Nice, Mike. Get a hold of me later. I'm here. 15 years or so for Verizon is, I guess. I mean, it took a long time to get rid of 3G.
I'm pretty sure 3G still. Somebody said 3G it no longer exists in the States. I'm not sure how true that is.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. But 3G exists in many other parts of the world, such as here on the Cozumel and between Playa and Tulum, there's some 3G service. So, but still works, for a DMR over IP, it's fine.
Cool.
Yep. Let's see, issues running. What does that mean?
Where?
I don't know.
Oh.
But then, yeah, these things don't have an extremely high um, uh, resolution camera. It's got a 13 on the front and a 8 on the back. So, no, sorry, the other way around. On the front, back. Call it an 8 and a 13. So, you would need to take a lot of pictures to fill that. But the truth is, it's a radio. Some people use it as their primary cell phone. There are people that do that, and those people tend to be, like lower end users of cell phones, So, higher end users, about 50% of our users have iPhones, quite frankly. So.
Okay. Cool. Well, this has been great. It's always good to get updates from you because I know you guys are moving really fast with the apps and the ROMs that you've been updating. There's been a lot of development take place in the last, 6, 12, 18 months, however long that's been.
We've been on fire.
So
thanks, Mike. Mike Pasquale said he just
I saw. He said he just bought one.
I don't know where he got it from. He must have got it from the European site or from Gigaparts or something.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
So, but use RFinder.net or Gigaparts, HRO. They have a stock. So,
Rob, it can transmit on commercial because it is a Part 90 certified radio.
That is absolutely correct. It is a Part 90 certified radio.
It's been Part 90. The dual band B1 has been Part 90 since day one.
Yep, that is correct.
Yep.
So, it'll work on marine band if you have a boat. We have, as a matter of fact, on the web interface on web.rfinder.net, there's a button to manage or go to cloud.rfinder.net and log in with your RFinder credentials. And you can add special zones like GMRS, FRS. We just added some new ones like the rail fans in the United States. We just added all the rail frequencies, marine. You can just add a zone on the website and then restore it from the cloud, and magically you'll have that as those as memory zones. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. And I'm not saying that you should use it for GMRS, but if you don't know that there's a lot of Part 90 radios that are used for GMRS, so I'm just going to put it that way.
Yes, just so you know, I know that there are people that are very concerned about this, but we do put out the security updates regularly as long as they're available. But it is a radio, and it's usually not an issue. Like, we haven't had an issue. We have people on version 6 for crying out loud. No issue whatsoever. So it's more of a perception thing than a reality.
Yeah.
That was for Jesse Condon.
Okay.
Cool. What else? 3G turned off. Sweet. IPsite Connect. IPsite Connect. Well, kind of, but we just do it through the network, like through DMR, Open DMR terminal protocol either to Brandmeister or to TGIF, and then you can get out to the repeaters with IPSC. So it's really an end node. It's not a repeater, although it kind of looks like a repeater to the network. Still can't get over the fact you called me on a Sunday to help me with my B1 Plus. Glenn, of course, I'm going to call any of you guys. If you guys are having trouble and I see that you're, making a posting online or whatever, I will chase you down and help you get it fixed. And, many people know that. So,
Moto Turbo Capacity Plus.
Yep. We're actually working on AES right now.
Okay.
That's in the hands of the guys in China right now, adding it to the RF module. Let's see. What's else? Just stay looking out. Okay. Yeah. Well, we do them when they're available, and we do it as part of the regular OS updates that we send out several times a year, quite frankly, more often than you can even imagine. Let's see. I got a security from an immediate perspective. You just have to make sure I understand who you're doing to protect phone apps. I'm not sure I understand that question. Yeah. I don't understand. Just doing to protect phone apps. I don't know what he means. I don't know. I didn't know that we had to protect anything. So, but it works fine. Like I said, we have people on M1s that are still using them as phones.
Yeah. So. Yep. I still use mine as well, I have a Verizon SIM card. I was going to say this earlier when somebody's asking about Verizon. I've had a Verizon SIM card in my P10 for like a year and a half. And I don't really use it as a phone, but it's got a Verizon hotspot SIM card in it. Now, all hotspot SIMs have a phone number associated with it, but I don't even know what that phone number is. I've never.
Yeah, but you can't make phone calls on them usually.
I've never tried. I don't know, but yeah, it's just a data SIM, or it's on a data plan. I'll put it that way.
Yep.
So yeah.
Which means you could probably use it for WhatsApp.
Yeah, I could. I don't have WhatsApp.
Or stick a free phone app on there and just do phone over
Skype. Skype will do that.
Yeah, no, but you can get like apps that do give you like a free phone number that you can.
Yeah, probably do that. Yeah.
Audio quality is fantastic, but whatever.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yep.
Thanks, RF Field Tech KE580X. Just get one. You're gonna love it. You'll love it. It's a way of life.
Yeah, he works. He just lives down here south of me. He's a actual cell phone tower technician. So, and he's got a new YouTube channel too.
No,
I believe.
Wow. Well, maybe he might want to invite me on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you lose subscribers every time you go onto Frank's channel, but
is that really true? I don't know. I get
just no.
It's funny, because when I go to talk to people all the time, they're like, "Oh, I saw you on Frank's, or I saw you on Jason's channel, blah blah blah. Are you gonna get on again soon?" They're
always Somebody told me one time that I should bring you on like at least once a month because the banter back and forth that you and I do, which we haven't done much of that on this.
No, not today. But sometimes, because just so you guys know, like we have philosophical issues between us, but.
Well, yeah, I guess kind of, but we both have the same sense of humor, so. So it's.
By the way, when you come down, I'm going to make you a Texas brisket in Cozumel.
Fine with me. Got a smoker down there?
I did, man. I went to the metal recycler. I was looking for a tank to take to the welder to make a smoker out of, because you can't just buy it on the street here. So, when I was there, I couldn't find a tank, but there was this 3-drawer, legal size of all things, filing cabinet.
Really?
I paid $10 for it. I took it over to local welder, did some modifications to it.
Oh gosh.
I'm telling you, she holds 225 degrees for 4 hours, without touching it.
Really?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Can't beat that.
It's really a piece of crap. It's really a piece of crap, but it makes
but it makes all you need, man.
It makes beautiful. I mean, look at the smoker we use in North Texas, right? I mean,
yeah.
But it makes beautiful brisket. It makes great, beef ribs. Fantastic beef ribs. Knock your socks off beef ribs. And I love, that guy Guga. You ever see Guga?
Don't think so.
He's got a YouTube channel. If anybody knows Guga, raise your hand. Anyway, Guga, Guga Food. He is hilarious, and he's always making different crazy things with his smokers. So, I like to watch and and make some of his experiments. It's quite fun.
That's fun.
But yeah, I'll make a nice Texas. And I found a place to get USDA briskets down here because
nice. Okay.
Because Mexican meat sucks. Except for two pieces. You know what picanha is? That's that cut that it's like the top sirloin cap.
Okay.
Picanha here is really good, and arrachera, which is skirt, which is really good and very easy to get, as well as our sirloin cap, or it's called sirloin cap, or it's called picanha in like Brazil and Portugal and in Latin America, or in French they call it the coulette. Those are easy to get and they're really good. And I actually smoked one the other day, and it was like everybody was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like people were freaked out. They were like, "Are you kidding me?" Nobody had ever seen a smoked picanha before.
Well, hey.
Oh my! So that was cool. So I smoked and it was quick. It was like a 4-hour smoke. It was very nice.
Yeah, cool.
It's soft. It doesn't it doesn't need to be broke down like a brisket.
Right. Well, we're gonna have to get something on the calendar because I want to come down there. I definitely want to activate the beach, activate POTA. So you just keep me posted on when you get that operating privilege squared away down there. We will make that happen.
Yeah, we're gonna have it very soon, and hopefully, if the guys from POTA are like listening or here,
I haven't seen them in the chat, but
yeah, I'm still waiting for a response back from the what do you call it? Let's see, from the
email
coordinator down here. Yeah, because I can only communicate with him on. No, I still don't have anything from him.
Okay, we'll get it done.
I hope so.
We'll get it done.
You have any pull?
I don't know the guy in Mexico, but I know the guys up here, of course. But I think you're already in contact with those guys, with Jason and Vance and those guys.
No, I'm in contact with everybody. I just want to add the entities. I gave them a list of entities that I wanted to add.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. No,
see what happens.
And I haven't heard back from him since 3 days. So.
Cool. All right. We're going to close it down, man. Appreciate your time today.
No, don't go.
Yeah, we're going to go. So thanks, everybody, for joining. RFinder.net is the website. Go read about the stuff there. I've got more than just 2 or 3 videos about RFinder products on this channel, so go check those out as well.
Yep.
And
if you want to get me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook. Make sure you join the RFinder group, RFinder users group. I am known as Roberto Monteverde. Those of you that remember that my original Bob Greenberg got hacked, I never got it back. Facebook has been very unhelpful in getting my account back. So I just created a new account, and Roberto Monteverde is the exact translation of Bob Greenberg in Spanish. So get me on there, or you can get me on our live chat on the website, or you can get us on WhatsApp. You can get my mobile number off the group also, and on WhatsApp if you want. So we're here. By the way, I have an open door policy. If I'm at my desk, the Zoom.rfinder.net is open. So anybody can pop in and say hi at any time if at my desk. If you don't see me in front of the camera, just yell loud and I'll come across the room. So
good.
Thanks, everyone. Right, nice seeing all y'all.
Yep.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. Wasn't with a Latin American accent, but yeah, you said it right.
All y'all is Texan, isn't it?
Oh, y'all. Yeah, it's Texan. So, all right, guys. Y'all take care. Have a good afternoon.
Hola, mis amigos. Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes. We'll see you next time.